Qin Shi Huang led the unification of the Central Plains, but the one who truly established and consolidated this achievement was Liu Yuan Emperor Gaozu of Han, the founding emperor of the Han dynasty who was 3 years younger than him. Following the peasant rebellion led by Chen Sheng and Wu Guang and the collapse of the Qin dynasty, the power struggle between Liu Bang and Xiongnu, the hegemon king, was not merely a personal feud between the two ambitious warlords vying for supremacy. The Chu-Han contention. For China at the time, it was also a conflict between the two historical paths. In the end, the path of a unified dynastic empire represented by Liu Bang defeated the path of a multi-state system, represented by Xiongnu. From this perspective, Liu Bang Emperor Gaozu of Han was the true successor to Qin Shi Huang's legacy. The unification of the steppes was the inevitable response to the unification of the Central Plains. While the Han dynasty was succeeding the Qin dynasty and consolidating its imperial system, the people in the steppes were also busy consolidating an unprecedented new polity, and with remarkable success. During the time of Qin Shi Huang, Grand Chanyu was defeated by the Qin army and fled in disarray, but just a few decades later, his son Grand Chanyu was able to force Emperor Gaozu of Han to sign the treaty under coercion after the Battle of Baideng. The Battle of Baideng marked the beginning of the 400 years of war and peace between the Han and the Xiongnu. In this contest between the Central Plains Empire and the Steppe Empire, while the Xiongnu had their moments of glory, the Han dynasty generally held the upper hand. The inherent weakness of the Xiongnu Empire lay in the fact that it was, at its core, a response to the establishment of the Qin-Han Empire. The very purpose of a Xiongnu state was to extract the resources from the powerful Central Plains Empire. Once this goal could not be achieved smoothly, or when those resources could be obtained by other means, the Xiongnu state would then face the risk of being divided or even collapse. Based on this, the Han dynasty adopted a carrot-and-stick policy to divide and dismantle the Xiongnu. On the one hand, it used the core trade to win over the Xiongnu. On the other hand, it periodically sent troops to undermine the Xiongnu's economic base. The Han dynasty's efforts to dismantle the foundations of the nomadic state's existence were not in vain. During the transition between the two Han dynasties, the Xiongnu also repeatedly fell into internal turmoil, eventually just splitting into the two factions. The Southern Xiongnu submitted to the Eastern Han dynasty, while the Northern Xiongnu gradually declined, marking the end of the Xiongnu's empire period. The Southern Xiongnu obtained the resources through trade with the Han dynasty. The Eastern Han dynasty and later its successors, the Chao Wei dynasty of the Three Kingdoms, and the Western Jin dynasty were also adept at absorbing, dividing, and suppressing the Southern Xiongnu. In the 2nd and 3rd centuries, as the Eastern Han dynasty declined and the Central Plains fell apart, the Xiongnu Empire finally lost its reason to exist and entered the grave alongside the Qin-Han Empire. In 304, as the Western Jin Empire was collapsing from within, Liu Yuan, the Grand Chanyu of the Southern Xiongnu, took advantage and declared his independence, proclaiming the restoration of the Han regime and ushering in the chaotic era of the 16 kingdoms of the 5 Hu. His Xiongnu-led Hanzhao regime soon perished amid the chaos, and the term Xiongnu also disappeared from history and officially became a historical term.